Aloha, my name is Anna Covert, and I'm coming to you from my battleship here on the beautiful island of Oahu. This week on the Covert Code podcast, the topic is the human advantage, creating an income that AI can't replace. My very special guest is Charlene Rose, an entrepreneur, actor, hand model, and choreographer who has built a life and businesses rooted in passion and creativity. She is the founder of Living Room to Ballroom, which is a professional dance company that helps people step into new challenges and create new opportunities for development. She is also the visionary behind the Old Hollywood Lodge, which is a unique Airbnb location that has a very interesting story that we're going to dive into. So thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me at your beautiful, what'd you call it, battleship?
This is my battleship.
I love it.
I
love it.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So to get us started, I like to ask all of our guests, like the Cliff Notes version. So you're very unique and different than some of our other guests, which is exciting. How did you get to where you were to where you are now as this interesting entrepreneur?
So I started as a dancer. I went to college for dance and musical theater, and how I became from a dancer to an entrepreneur, business person kind of just happened not in a traditional way. Like I didn't follow a specific roadmap. It was kind of like just following my own intuition, following my passion, what ignites me, and step by step along the way, it just kind of the roadmap presented itself, let's say. So yeah, I was came to LA. I was competing, and then I started my dance company because same thing. It was something that I was passionate about, and then people latched onto it. They're like, "Oh, I want to do that too," and so I saw a need, and I developed a business out of it. And then from there, the Airbnb was a separate thing that kind of came randomly because I wanted to buy a property and it just wasn't right for me for the time and for what I could get for what finances I had. And so I was I decided to make it into an investment rather than a place I was living, and then use my creativity to make it into something special and different. So hope that answers your question.
Sure. Yeah. Tell me more about your dance company. So it's not traditional ballroom dance. So what exactly is it, and what kind of audience are you attracting?
So it's gone through different phases, but mainly it was rooted in Latin dance. I'm a salsa dancer. And so first I did partnering, but nowadays I'm just teaching women. The reason for that is because during the pandemic, it was really difficult to do partner dancing because people had to stay 6 feet apart. And
that does make it a challenge.
Yeah. And actually I did start a series, I think it started on like March 13th, and I think everything shut down on March 15th. And we still continued the series. It was a bachata partnering series. Bachata is one of the Latin dances. And we did it, but we ended up, instead of doing performances, we ended up doing videos because obviously we couldn't perform live. And so the lead would be on one screen, the follow would be on the other screen, not connected, but kind of moving together as if they were. But that's why now it's just easier to teach women. So I don't do partnering. But basically what I offer is I give them the performer experience. So I teach them choreography. I set up shows for them, pick costumes for them. And then because of the pandemic, now we also do professional videos. So within one series, they'll get to perform live, but they'll also get to do a video shoot. But at the same time, they're building camaraderie. Some of my team members become best friends, for years and years, hopefully for their lives. And then also gaining confidence, learning skills. So the two styles that I do right now are salsa and burlesque.
So it's really not for just people to learn to dance. It's more like they're going to use this as a professional, like they want to.
It's not a professional. None of my students are trying to be professionals. Most of my students are from the ages of 40 to up to 70, actually. I think one of my students might even be 72. So these are women that have careers, maybe danced when they were younger, maybe never danced, maybe always wanted to dance. So I'm giving them the experience of kind of having a professional opportunity to dance and be on stage, but obviously they're not trying to like make a career out of that. But I mean, some of my students have gone on to like getting paid jobs and stuff like that, you know, just from the experience of it.
Right. So how are you marketing your business?
So I market on social media. And a lot of my business is word of mouth, actually. Most of my students have been with me for a very long time. This year is my 17th year. And a lot of my students have been with me the whole time. Many of them have been with me at least 10 years. So, you know, they keep spreading the word, and then from social media, I get people coming in, and it's just a special thing that I offer, that, you know, it's different.
Mm-hmm. And so for people who are listening here who, you know, are trying to figure out ways that they can use their passion to create business opportunities, what are some of the recommendations that you have on how to identify a business opportunity that's linked to your passion?
I would say it will from my experience, it kind of presented itself. Like I had a passion, and because I was doing my passion, people will latch onto it. You know what I mean? If you're putting yourself out there as, you know, whatever it is the business is, whatever it is that you're passionate about, if you're putting yourself out there, people will see it, and you'll find your people that way. And then it will kind of just, like I said, present itself. What people will show what they need. Look at their comments. What are they saying? Like what is standing out? You know, for me, it was like, oh, I want to look like that. I want to dance like that. I want to feel like that. So yeah, I would say that's what worked for me as far as the dance instruction. As far as my Airbnb, it was kind of a similar thing. Like I looked in to see what was out there, and just kind of looked at the things that were standing out, and I was like, oh, I see that. Okay. And so kind of that's what made me pick the idea that I did, that was something different, that had an aesthetic that was what people wanted.
And what makes yours different?
So mine, I have a theme, which is Old Hollywood. So I use like vintage decor, but also throughout the house, there's like images of old Hollywood stars. Like you feel like you're going back in time. People want an experience.
Yes.
You know, there's so many Airbnbs that look the same. And so what I noticed, the ones that were really doing well, that were standing out, had something different, had something more, made it more of an experience. Like it's exciting to go to this place. It's not, I'm just going to an Airbnb.
You know, the first Airbnb that I ever rented was in New York City, and it wasn't advertised this way, but I realized now that you're saying that they probably had a couple different types of ads, because when I got there was all of this, you know, phallic, we'll call it, content. Like there was statues on the walls of men, and there was all these books, and then there was a disco light that came down from the bedroom, like you could, with a controller, and I'm like,
wow,
and all kinds of, you know, interesting things that I'm like, this is totally like this was like a swingers Airbnb.
Yeah, for sure,
very popular.
And you couldn't tell from the pictures.
I mean, I was my first Airbnb experience. So I guess I was just thinking location, and when I got there, I'm like, whoa, it was really entertaining, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was great for the people that are the swingers. That like, that's like, where else can you get that?
Right.
There's not that many places that you get specifically all the phallic decor and disco
it was
ball.
special. It was memorable for sure.
Yeah.
So how has the fires in Hollywood affected your business?
It didn't really affect my business because Yeah, I don't think it did. I think mainly because my clients weren't in that area. So
Because you're not in Hollywood.
I'm not in I'm in West LA, and the only places where it affected was specifically the Palisades and Altadena. And those are both not areas that my students are in. So there's a lot. LA is very big. It's very spread out. I'm more on the west side, which the Palisades is on the west side, but it's like further west.
The Hollywood sign is where? Because that burned down, didn't it? The big Hollywood? It caught on fire. It's all over the news.
Maybe it did. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
I actually don't know the specifics. I know that the most people that were affected was Altadena and the Palisades. And it was crazy during that time. Like, I was at my friend's place. We were trying to get stuff out of her apartment because the fire just kept moving and moving. And it was very smoky to the point where I almost left town because it was so bad. But as far as like the actual damage, it was only in 2 areas, which is still horrible. But the news makes things sound way worse than they are. And granted, it was bad, but there was still a lot of places that.
So you were still renting your Airbnb wasn't empty. You didn't have any impact. And now that's.
I mean, if anything, I got people from the fires. Yeah, my Airbnb.
So that can be in it.
That wanted to get away.
Right.
So, but yeah, it didn't affect my business really, I would say.
So how do you think the AI is going to impact the industries that you're in?
Well, I feel pretty lucky because I don't think it will really impact, because in fact, I feel like my businesses will thrive because of AI. I feel like people are going to want more in-person experience. They're going to get tired of seeing AI images and AI videos and not knowing what's real because it's only getting better and better.
Oh, yeah.
So with dance, like, that's going to fill that need for like in-person connection. Like, I'm here right with you.
Absolutely.
And even like the touch aspect of like dancing, we're connecting, we're touching,
But not at your dance.
Not in my specific dance, but I'm still involved in that world.
Right.
At this moment, I'm not doing partnering, but I could definitely start it.
And that might be something to add now because of the way things are going, right?
Exactly. So I'm still in that realm where I could delve into that more if I wanted to. But either way, even with live performances, which is something that I provide, I also do events.
Yeah.
Where they're like immersive events where I have performances, live music. So it's every part of it is in person. It's
people are starved for this authenticism and realism, and it's only getting. I think it's only getting more important.
Yes, yeah. I mean, and you just see so many people on their phones, on their computers, like, and have you seen? There was this video it was like going around on social media. It was of the Friends intro video with the music. It was like, this is 2026 version of Friends, and all of them were like on their phones, like in the apartment and all the places that are on the show, and they were just like this the whole time. And it's like, that's where we're at right now. And I just feel like something's gonna give, and people are gonna be like tossing the phones. I want to read books. I want to be live. I want to see people. I want to hear real live music. Like, that's another thing that's getting crazy is the AI music. I don't know if you know anything about this, but like, I follow, like, we listen to music on YouTube, and a lot of the things that we select, I can tell now. Now I can tell that it's AI, but it's actually really good.
The AI music is incredible.
Like, it sounds really good.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So I think people are gonna get tired of kind of like the boxed AI sound and just want like that live experience. So in that aspect, I feel like I'm in a good place as far as AI goes. And same thing with the Airbnb. Like, it's a place. It's a place that you go to, you know.
How is the algorithms, though? Are they being affected? You know, because that's one thing that we're seeing is online search, right? Is being impacted directly by AI, and for good and for bad. But now you're coming up in the algorithm because you have high rankings and you are a good score and you're in an area. Are you advertising through Airbnb? Is there any changes that are going to happen, you know, based off of the search algorithm that you know of?
Not that I know of, honestly. Like I'm pretty consistently booked. So whatever's, if it is the algorithm or AI, it's still working for me.
Just doing ads? Is there any ads inside of there?
Not so far. Excuse me. Not so far. I want to start using social media more for my Airbnb. I haven't been, but it is on the to-do list. But even as it stands, I'm on Airbnb, Booking.com, VRBO. I think that's all, and I'm probably 80 to 90% booked.
Yeah,
as it is.
Nice.
The reason I want to start using the ads is because I have something that's unique. I feel like I can put it at a higher level as far as pricing point, but right now it's still getting booked at a pretty good price point. So.
Yeah, I would just tell you that I probably wouldn't do Facebook ads if I were you.
Oh, really?
No, just because of all the fraud. You know, 60% of Facebook ads are fraudulent.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so it's. And especially then when you think about how often when someone's looking for something, right? You're unique because people are actively, I'm going somewhere, these are my dates, I want to book something. It's very, very low in the purchase funnel, right? So there's awareness. I'm aware that you exist maybe, or aware that I'm going to California on a trip. Consideration, I could go to a hotel, I could go to Airbnb, I know a friend, what are my options? Intent. Now I'm there online looking at options. That's where you're getting them on all the places you are, right? Facebook is not there. They're not on Facebook looking for a place to stay.
Right. Yep.
So it's secondary. So it's much more effective to target them where you are now.
Okay. Well, then,
but there's other ways
to worry about.
You could get some boosting over here, perhaps through the platforms to get featured, right?
Yeah.
Increase the price, get featured, and then you can see, right? That's typically the better way to go, right?
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Boost like an Instagram.
Yeah, because I know I have heard that there are some AI changes coming to some of these algorithms. So we're already seeing that. And this is super unethical, guys, right? But with airlines in particular, they recognize your behavior and they'll charge you more than me because of your behavior, right?
Interesting.
And locations that you're searching and time of day, right? So as these algorithms yes, and that's the same thing with the Airbnb.
I feel like I experienced that actually.
You have experienced it. We all have experienced it. So there's some different tools you can use. There's incognito searching, that's clearing the cache. But the second you log in, then that can save your settings too. So there are preferences to people who are booking at a higher level than others, right? So the threat then is called like just-in-time inventory, or it's just like concert tickets. Remember when we used to buy concert tickets and they were based off seat?
Right.
Well, now they're changing it. It's like people are bidding on tickets.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, there's a name for it. I'm having a blank, but it's changing everything. That's how they can start charging like outrageous amounts of money for a concert ticket.
Yeah.
Right? Some Bon Jovi or whatever it might be. Right. So people are all bidding on it.
Yeah. Crazy.
So the bidding is coming, and then it's based off of that user. Right. So you can maximize. If you know the game, you could then maximize it. Right.
I guess I need to learn.
Yeah.
Need to learn the game.
Well, that's kind of, I think, where one of the bridges are of like you're in like a really good spot. I was just watching a podcast the other day. What industries are really affected by AI, right? And it's anything with a keyboard is the first wave. Right?
Yeah.
And then the second wave is, eventually, if we believe Elon Musk, and we know he's usually right, but his timelines are usually not correct. He thinks everything's going to be like in the next year, and it's more than that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There are going to be robots out there, walking around, doing things, cleaning, whatever they're going to be doing.
Yeah.
And then that's great. Are they going to be doing dance instruction? I bet not. Right?
Yeah, I don't think
that's
so.
probably pretty
I don't
safe.
See that coming anytime soon.
Pretty safe. But, maybe cleaning an Airbnb, that could be beneficial. But really, I think that the intersection here people need to be thinking about is when you want to follow your passion and protect yourself, right? You still have to think, okay, well, right now what you told me is that most of your customers for your dance school have been around for a long time. Right? They're a certain type of audience. Right? They're motivated. They already know that they love dance, right? They're phasing with you.
Right.
But when you want to start targeting new people, you young ones, there's going to be some interesting opportunities there.
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
And there's definitely, I think you're right, there's a big difference between someone who's, the millennial versus what are we even calling the next one? Gen Z? What is it?
I can't.
Gen X? I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
It is. I do find that the younger generation, for what I do, I would have to change things around. Just from what I've seen, they don't want to commit to anything. They that's basically the biggest thing with dance. You have to commit. So,
you mean it's not just for them to get a reel so they can post it to their friends?
Oh my gosh, don't even get me started with that. Don't even get me started. No, like you see an amazing dancer and you're like, oh, I want to do that. But do you know, like, people don't realize the hours of repetition, training, blood, sweat, tears that goes into it. And then, once they see how hard it is, then they're just like, oh, well, then I'll just go and do the next thing.
I'll take a picture of myself and have AI do it for me.
Exactly. And be like, well, even like there's AI videos that they put your face on somebody else's body, like doing like kicks and crazy things. And it's like I'm saying, people are going to get tired of it.
Yes.
People are going to get tired of it. And yes, there is a way to work around it. Let's say for the younger generation, if I wanted to get them dancing, I'd probably do something where it's just like free flow, like, oh, we're dancing, oh my gosh, love it, because that's all they're and there's nothing wrong with that.
I think that it's like, I'm actually hoping that you're right that you said something, because I can ballroom dance. My dad was known as the cha-cha king.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And my parents would do dance lessons together, and we always go on cruises, and I loved dancing with my dad because he was like really, like led, and it was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think that what I realized when I was going to school and dances is that it was kind of boring. Don't get me wrong, because everyone's just like doing that. Oh,
mm-hmm.
Whatever they're doing, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like as engaging as getting to do a real dance,
mm-hmm.
right? And I think that's kind of why step, or what's it called, step dancing. The Cowboys, line dancing, the Cowboys, the line dancing,
step line.
It's become so popular now because you can dance by yourself, but then there's still like coordination,
some level of difficulty
and,
to it,
and you're all together, and then you can get up there and like you do the electric slide and you do these other dances, and
mm-hmm.
that's been kind of made a huge resurgence.
Oh yeah, I mean that's actually a great thing, because it doesn't require a lot of skill, but it's still a lot of fun. And so that's, I could see kind of popular dance going in that direction for sure.
Yeah.
But like, as far as, if the younger generation wanted to become like a performer or something like that, that's definitely something that requires time and effort. But either way, like there's a market for, you just figure it out. And I think that's something that I've kind of like, I guess, figured out on my own. Just like I said, I find the need and find out how I can provide for that need, So same thing, exactly what we're talking about. The younger generation doesn't want to commit. They, we kind of know where their mindset is at. So me as a business person with the type of business that I do and the skill set that I have, I would figure out a way to fill that need.
Like, I'm sure all the people who are in your school right now, they all probably all have kids. So to bring your kid to dance day, and then, right?
Actually, none of them have kids.
None of them?
I don't think any of my students have kids.
Oh, wow.
Except maybe some.
That's interesting.
But I have a very specific niche. Yeah, which is nice, because I know exactly the type of people that are going to be into what I provide, and I also know that they're going to be loyal once they join. I just have to get them into the class, and then they'll want to stay.
No, I think it's really like, when we think about what else is not affected, right? It's those are the latest, longest things are going to be. It's really back to with things with your hands and your feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the people who are. Well, I have a girlfriend who, she's a massage therapist and whatnot. She is making quiches and selling them at the farmer's market on Sanella.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, there's no robot going to be making quiche. It's like, well, that's true, and I think there's a lot of those kinds of things that, crafts and human things that.
And there's just that human essence and that human, just like even the love that you put into what you do. Like no robot or AI can recreate that. They just can't. And even the things that are specifically affected, I feel like there still needs to be a human behind it. Like maybe there are going to be jobs going away and maybe the better people have to like be the ones that are going to keep their jobs. But I feel like there still has to be some kind of human element to make sure everything's working correctly.
For maybe a year,
You think so?
I think so. I mean, like the fact is that they're getting much more smarter, and we're approaching the end of human innovation because they are much smarter than we will never be as smart as them now moving forward. Basically, like we've hit a critical milestone that I was talking about, and I think that that's an opportunity for us because yes, there are things that are only human, and those are communication. Like us having this conversation right now. And that's what people are going to be drawn toward. It's real human engagement, and that's dancing, and that's collaborating, and that's singing, and that's performing, and that's creativity, and that's what it means to be human.
Right.
And I think being able to remember that and go back to it. Will there be accountants in the future? No.
Yeah.
And does there need to be a human led? Probably not. Right.
That's really good.
Yeah.
My brother does coding. And so he's like a little nervous, but from his experience, it's still like messes up, and he still has to be like really hands-on with it.
Yeah, for right now, absolutely. I mean, I also in technology companies and have multiple developers working for us in the agency, and that's the case, right? It's like, yes, it can hallucinate, it needs to be reviewed, but we're still in the infancy.
It's hallucinate.
It's called AI hallucination.
That's what
when it just gets off on a tangent, but the more modification or the more input you give it, the better it gets. And really what's missing right now is a human interface. Right? So you're using, how can you communicate with the AI to tell it what you want? Because really where the problems exist are people can't communicate very well.
Right. They don't know
what they want, right? Or what to say exactly. Yeah. And then it goes off into tangents and gets confused. But within the next year or two, we will see that those things will change. And then what is the role?
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That I mean, it is. I use AI a lot with like writing and things for my website and captions, and it is pretty crazy how smart it is.
It's amazing.
And I feel like AI hasn't even been around in the general public for that long.
Right.
So it is pretty crazy that it's advancing so quickly. It's kind of scary. But yeah, I mean, if whoever is like being affected by the AI or potentially affected, like you're right. Anything, if they can adjust their business somehow, so there has to be some kind of hands-on person-to-person element, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, and that passion, but probably the thing, go back to the passion of it, right? Because now what we're seeing is that there's these huge layoffs that are happening, and people are now doing annotation. It's called computer annotation for the AI. So they're basically looking over the responses and then giving you feedback. And that's one of the fastest growing segments, which is very inhuman in general. It's a terrible job to have. No one wants to have, the jobs that were being replaced. So if that's you and you're listening to this and you're like, oh my gosh, that's you identify with that, then think about what does make you happy. Like thinking about this passion that you have. Maybe you love helping people. You could be a caregiver. Maybe you love whatever it is. You like to cook. What is it that actually brings you joy? And you can
make a business.
You can make a business out of that.
Absolutely can. And I've done it. I believe in it 100%. But it's just, you have to. I think mindset is a big part of it. Because it's not one of those things that's a sure thing. You become a real estate agent, you're going to sell houses. You know what I mean? Like you get the training, you will be able to work in that. You become a lawyer, you're going to do that. With making your own business, there is, the sense that you don't know how it's going to go. But I do 100% feel that there's something with alignment and just going for it that something happens. I don't know if it's the universe or just the fact that you're putting so much passion into it. Things start to fall into place in wild ways.
Yeah, the synchronicities.
Yes, in wild ways where you're like, oh my God, this is not just happenstance. Like this is alignment. This is like, I'm so passionate about this and I'm going towards it. I'm going to make it happen. And you have to be 100% in it for it to actually work.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, is that I think some people kind of like are afraid. So they're like, well, maybe I'll try this and I'll dip my foot in. It never works that way.
That's right.
You have to be 100%. Like with my Airbnb, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. It was my first house purchase. I did, research. I wasn't going into it blindly.
You stayed at an Airbnb before.
I'd stayed at, yes. No. I mean, the whole, like, it wasn't just creating an Airbnb. It was like my first home purchase.
Right.
Oh yeah. It was like, that's a big deal. Like, that's a big step.
Do you have solar?
I've looked into it, but maybe we can talk about that.
We'll talk later.
A little later. Yeah, because you're like the solar queen.
Yes.
But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna make this happen because I have to. I was putting everything into it. And so because I went 100% in, like I said, the idea of the theme came, like I was getting random grants. I was getting like random money coming in. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's good timing. I ended up booking this job that was extra money, but also I did a Beachbody program. And
so what's that?
So it's a workout company. And so I was in the video. So I was getting paid to be the workout person, or at least the follow of the coach. And so this was right when I was renovating the house, and I was doing a lot of like my own like heavy labor lifting and that sort of thing. So not only was I getting extra money from the job, but I also was strong and I was in shape, and it just came at the perfect time. This is just one example.
Yes.
The synchronicity.
Absolutely.
So, but I would say, like, with the following your passion, like, you have to go for it.
Absolutely. And I think also now, of all times, this is like the easiest time to start your own business, because
absolutely.
Before, you had to have an agency, right? You had to, create a logo. You had all these things that, that we do, but we're not worried about it. But I personally, but that you could just go and you could create a business plan. You can create a marketing plan. You can do all of these, market research. You can create a website. Not that it's going to be as good as the one I'll make you, but still, you can create all those things on your own and be out and create an app. You can do all these things with that dedication, and it doesn't have to cost a lot, and it can be the right time to really like flex those creative muscles and get out there and think of something new for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think so.
Well, what's next for you? You're going to expand your business. You're going to get another house. What do you think is happening in the next 5 years?
So the next 5 years, I think I would like to get another Airbnb. I do enjoy it. I do like hosting. Granted, there are some things that aren't fun about it, but generally I like to provide, like, I just love getting a review. Like, I had a fabulous stay. Like, it was so serene. I love the decor. I love getting those. And also because of the same thing another thing I wanted to say is, like, sometimes even when you're on a path, other things come up. So even with this, I didn't know that I was an interior designer, but I had to be to like make my place stand out. And so now, like, people look at my listing and they're like, wow, the decor is amazing. And I've had friends now ask me to do interior design for their places. So that could be something. I'm moving forward, and as things come up, I just kind of use my intuition and be like, is that something I want to go towards? Do I want to go in that direction? And maybe I will, maybe I won't. But right now I have my Airbnb, I have my dance instruction business, and I just stay open to what ignites me.
Yeah. It's like, I remember Bashar.
Huh?
Bashar, you know who he is?
Mm-mm.
He's the channeler. So it's Daryl Enkin. He channels Bashar as like an alien.
Okay. All right.
And but what you said that really resonated with me is that he's got this he calls it the like the formula.
Mhm.
And the formula is that how you know if your higher self is guiding you is
Mhm.
you do what you act on your passion always first.
Mhm.
So whatever you're passionate about, you do that. And then when the passion starts to wane and you're passionate about something else, you do that.
Exactly.
And when you do that, you will always be guided by your higher self and the synchronicities line up.
Yeah.
So it's very easy. And then, even if it doesn't seem good, right?
Mhm.
That's not for you to judge because you can't, kind of like Einstein said, you can't solve a problem with the same mindset as the problem's created.
Mhm.
Right. So it's like you might seem not like what you want, but you don't know because you're not at the next level up.
Right.
So just follow the passion and keep weaving.
Yeah.
And then you'll end up where you're supposed to be
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah. Just follow what ignites you. Follow what feels like it feeds your soul. Like it's what makes you excited. Like, am I excited about this? Because
Yeah.
whatever you're doing, it no matter what, it's going to take some effort. Nothing's easy, but it is going to be easy if you listen to your higher self.
Yep.
But it's all just a muscle. It's you get better and better at it, like knowing what that feeling is. 'Cause it's
Definitely.
really just a feeling.
It is. Yeah.
So
Awesome. Well, how can people get a hold of you if they want to learn more?
So I am on Instagram and Facebook, Charlene Rose. My Airbnb is Old Hollywood Lodge, also on Instagram and Facebook. And my dance instruction company is Living Room to Ballroom.
Great. We're going to keep all those links in the feed on the channel here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please tune in next week as I interview another industry expert in topics to help you succeed on and offline. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe on the channel. We're just approaching 170,000 subscribers, and that is because of you and your aloha. So thank you so much for sharing this content with your friends and family and supporting it. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you next week in the Pixels. Aloha.
Aloha.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Covert Code podcast. If you're loving the insights we share here, don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcast platform and leave a review. Your support helps us reach more digital innovators like you. Share this episode with your friends and colleagues on social media and help spread the word. And if you're in the solar space or just curious about where clean energy is headed, I'm thrilled to announce my brand new podcast, The Solar Coaster. This show digs into the real stories, trends, and challenges of the solar industry, with bold conversations and powerful takeaways you won't hear anywhere else. Follow the Solar Coaster now so you don't miss a single episode. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the pixels. Aloha.